It was Christmas morning, the kind where fresh snow blankets the Denver suburbs like a false promise of peace. And I stood in the center of my parents' living room, holding 4 crisp white envelopes. My hands didn't shake as I passed them out, one to my brother Derek, one to my sister Lauren, one to Mom, and one to Dad. They were still chuckling from the gag gift they'd given me moments earlier, a cheap mug emblazoned with "World's Biggest Victim" in garish red letters. The room smelled of pine from the tree and burnt coffee from the pot Dad had left on too long. They thought it was just another joke at my expense. Like always. But inside those envelopes were simple cards with 4 words: "We need to talk." The laughter faded when I didn't join in. And then it died completely as I reached into my bag and pulled out the leather-bound portfolio, unwrapping it slowly, deliberately, like unveiling a bomb. My name is Sophia Reed, and at 35, I'd clawed my way to vice president of operations at a booming fintech firm in Seattle. I oversaw a department of 60, managed budgets in the 8 figures, and lived in a sleek condo with views of Puget Sound. My BMW waited in the driveway, a symbol of the life I'd built from scratch. But to my family, I was still the punchline, the outsider they'd always diminished. That morning, as the kids, Derek's 2 boys, played with their new toys in the corner, oblivious to the storm brewing, I felt the weight of decades pressing down. The white cards sat in their laps now, unread or dismissed. Lauren smirked first, flipping hers open. "We need to talk?" "Oh." Soph. Always with the theatrics. "What? You gonna lecture us on success again?" Derek snorted, tossing his card aside. "Yeah. Like that time you cried over not getting that promotion. Grow up." Mom adjusted her festive sweater, the one with jingling bells, and sighed. "Honey, it's the holidays. Can't this wait?" Dad didn't even look up from his newspaper. "Game's on soon. Make it quick." I didn't respond. Instead, I opened the portfolio, revealing the stack of notarized documents inside, legal papers that represented nearly $800,000 in gifts I'd prepared over the past year. For Mom and Dad. A full payoff of their $400,000 mortgage on this very house. Transferring the deed free and clear. For Derek. $250,000 in seed funding for his latest failed scheme, a craft brewery that would be his 5th flop. For Lauren. $150,000 in trusts for her daughter's college funds. All of it. Ready to sign. With one condition: a written acknowledgement of the $450,000 I'd already poured into them over the years, the bailouts, the bills, the silent support they'd taken and twisted into mockery. My attorney, Elena Vasquez, had made sure every page was ironclad, every clause enforceable under Colorado law. But as I held up the first document, the deed transfer, and met their eyes, I saw it, the same dismissal, the same entitlement. No gratitude, no recognition, just more of the same. The tension had been building since I was a kid in these same suburbs, where the wide streets hid narrow minds. I was 8 when Derek shattered Dad's prized golf trophy during a tantrum, then blamed me. "Sophia did it, she's always clumsy." I took the blame. The grounding. The endless retellings at family barbecues about how unreliable I was. Derek, 5 years older, was the charmer. The one who could talk his way out of anything. When he got busted for shoplifting in high school, Mom and Dad hired a lawyer to seal the record. Me? I worked weekends at the local diner to save for books, earning straight A's without fanfare. "Tests come easy to you," they'd say, as if my effort was invisible. Lauren, 3 years my senior, mastered the subtle cuts, spreading rumors at school that I was weird for reading during recess, stealing my journal to read aloud at dinner, framing it as concern for my mood swings. I wasn't moody, I was alone, drowning in their indifference. By Christmas, when I was 13, I'd scraped together cash from odd jobs to buy thoughtful gifts, concert tickets for Lauren's favorite band, a signed jersey for Derek's sports hero, antique earrings for Mom, a leather wallet for Dad. They opened them with polite nods, then handed me thrift store finds, a faded scarf, and a book on overcoming shyness. They laughed about how I needed it, turning my vulnerability into entertainment. High school was endurance training. Derek flunked out of community college on their dime. Lauren bounced between majors at State U, funded by family savings. I juggled 2 jobs and scholarships to get into UCLA, only for Dad to quip. Must be affirmative action or something. No pride, just suspicion. College was my lifeline. 1,500 miles away, where I could breathe. I dove into finance clubs, internships, graduating magna cum laude with offers from top firms. Calling home? That's nice. Did you hear Lauren's getting married? The pattern solidified in adulthood. Derek's first divorce cleaned him out. I wired $40,000 anonymously through Mom, who took the credit. Lauren's boutique failed during the recession. I covered 6 months of rent, $25,000. While she posted on social media about blessed parents, Mom's knee surgery bills, Dad's gambling debts, they came to me quietly, always with a side of belittlement. Don't let success go to your head, they'd say, as if my achievements threatened them. Over a decade, it tallied to $450,000, my savings drained into their voids, met with holiday jabs and birthday oversights. Last Christmas sealed it. I'd flown them to Maui. $90,000 all in. Beach villa and all. At the toast, Lauren raised her glass to Mom and Dad for always providing. I sat there, receipts burning in my app, realizing I wasn't family, I was funding. That flight home, while they slept in seats I'd upgraded, I started planning. No more enabling. I'd give them one last chance to see me, not as the victim, but as the force they'd underestimated. I met with Elena in March, outlining the conditional gifts. This is bold, she said, drafting the papers. Make sure it's what you want. It was. For months, I compiled evidence, bank statements, emails where they plotted more loans, voicemails mocking my fancy life. Washington state law allowed one-party recording. I had calls where Derek laughed about guilting Soph into another payout. In therapy with Dr. Harlan, I unpacked the grief. You've been their shadow, he said. This is you stepping into light. I hired a discreet photographer, Marcus, posing as a family documentarian. I prepped statements with a PR firm. Contacted a reporter from the Seattle Post-Intelligencer named Alex Rivera. Family financial abuse, I told him. Interested. He was. Christmas Eve built the suspense like a slow fuse. I flew in. Covered flights and suites at the Ritz-Carlton. Hired a chef for dinner. They ate the gourmet spread lobster, truffles, while reminiscing about my failures. Remember when Sophia bombed that school play? Lauren giggled. I was 11. Nervous from their teasing. I smiled through it, retreating to the guest bath to steady my breath. The mirror showed a woman ready to end the cycle. Morning came. Gifts exchanged, a Patek Philippe for Dad, Chanel bag for Mom, high-end laptop for Derek, sapphire necklace for Lauren. Too extravagant, Mom cooed. Already wearing it. Then my turn, the mug. Perfect for our drama princess, Derek wheezed. Laughter echoed. I stood, coat in hand, and distributed the envelopes. Their smirks held as they read the cards, expecting tears. But I pulled the portfolio from my trunk, placed it center stage. This was your real gift, I said, voice steady as steel. I fanned the documents, Mom's eyes widened at the mortgage payoff. Derek leaned in for his funding. Lauren clutched her chest at the trusts. One condition: acknowledge the $500,000 I've already given. In writing. Treat me with respect. Silence stretched. Then shattered. Would have been, I corrected. Picking up the deed. Rip. The sound sliced the air. Mom gasped. Rip again. Quarters now. Derek's contract next, confetti. Stop. Lauren lunged. But her trusts tore too. Paper snow blanketed the floor. Dad roared. What the hell? Mom knelt, piecing futilely. Marcus's camera clicked softly, capturing every raw moment. I'm done being your joke, I said. Phone out with the dossier. Receipts for everything. You took. You mocked. You lost. I walked out to chaos shouts. Please. My phone exploded. 23 calls in minutes. Texts. Derek's curses. Lauren's sobs about the girl's future, Mom's guilt trips. Dad's threats. I silenced it. Drove to my hotel. Ordered champagne. Phase 2. Emailed Alex Rivera. Stories ready. He verified overnight. December 26th. We met. He pored over files. This exposes real abuse. By 27th. My family countered. Lauren's Facebook tirade calling me unhinged. Derek's Twitter thread on toxic success. Dad calling my boss about a crisis. Mom rallying relatives with tales of my breakdown. But Marcus's photos, pre-tier mockery. Post-tier devastation, went viral when I posted them. Offered $800,000. Got ridiculed instead. Shares exploded. Colleagues defended. Sophia's rock solid. Relatives revealed truths. She paid for Aunt's hospice. The narrative flipped. Alex's article dropped December 28th. Seattle exec tears up family fortune after years of exploitation. With stats on intra-family abuse. Psych quotes on scapegoating. National pickup. NPR. Forbes. My inbox filled with stories from others. CEOs bled dry. Surgeons guilt silent. Lauren's TV spot backfired. Her evasion memed. Derek's GoFundMe mocked into oblivion. Dad's calls halted by HR warnings. Mom's pleas ignored. New Year's Eve. A surprise package, Grandma's hidden trust. $25,000 and a note. I saw you. Sophia. Don't let them break you. Tears came then, validation from beyond. Midnight on a Seattle rooftop with friends. Toasting freedom. I'd paid the price in pain. But the betrayal's cost was theirs now. The silence I'd endured erupted. And in its wake, I was whole.